Hi, and welcome back to another episode of New Old and Songs Untold. It's been a while.
We had a little hiatus for a while.
We did.
But we are back.
We are back with a new episode. I'm your host, Nick, joined with Anna. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
On this weird recording Sunday. We don't normally ever record on a Sunday.
No, we don't normally, but I'm excited. We haven't recorded in a while, and I'm pretty ready to go.
Yeah, it's excited, especially with it seems like we've got a few new listeners out there, and awesome that you guys are all listening. And
yeah.
We'll try to produce a little more content this summer.
The whole last month, we just took a nice little break.
Yeah, I know, right? So today, episode 49, I believe we are on.
Yep.
And we are doing Billboard Top 50 Album Covers of all time. We're going to be reacting to the list.
Greatest album covers of all time.
We'll link the list in the description if you want to follow along while you're listening. So shall we just kind of jump right into it?
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see. Album covers are very iconic. I feel like they add a lot to the music.
I agree.
Like with visual kind of atmospheric stuff. But I'm excited to see what eras they cover,
I know,
and what genres they cover.
It will be interesting.
Because album covers, it could be anything.
It really
could be anything.
It could.
Every genre has great album covers. But yeah, should we get into it?
Let's do it. You can start off by reading.
All right. You don't want to test your reading ability?
No, it's been a while.
Out of practice. All right, so number 50 is Taylor Swift, 1989 from 2014. Yeah, I feel like that cover is kind of cool just because it's supposed to be like a Polaroid, and then in the album, if you bought the physical copy, you actually got a bunch of other Polaroids that she took. It was kind of cool. It was kind of
I like that cover.
Atmospheric.
I like it.
All right, number 49 is Young Thug. Jeffrey from 2016.
I do not know.
I've never heard of them.
Neither have I.
But it's kind of an interesting album cover.
Yeah, kind of. It is it's unique. It's definitely something.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, that's pretty cool though.
Interesting. I love when the album cover is so eye-catching that you want to listen to the music. I feel like that's half the point of it. It's it adds to the artistic quality of the music sometimes, but sometimes it's just whoa, that looks crazy. I want to check that out. All right, number 48 is Lady Gaga, The Fame Monster, 2009.
Okay.
I feel like that's iconic just because her whole look. It's very dramatic.
Yeah, I agree. It's very in case
covering half of her
in
face.
cases of
She's
Lady
got,
Gaga, for sure.
The interesting style. All right, number 47 is Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1814 from 1989. I feel like that's nothing special.
I don't know.
It's just kind of boring. It's just a black and white picture of her.
Black and white picture that makes her look a lot like Michael Jackson in that picture.
Yeah. She do be looking like Michael Jackson a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Next. Oh, I love this album cover. So it's 46 is Funkadelic Maggot Brain from 1971.
That's cool.
It is so cool. It's basically like a head coming out of the ground screaming, and it's just so jarring. It's insane. I've seen that a lot. The album cover, and I feel like it's just so cool looking. Oh god. All right. Number 45 is Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, 2018. It is pretty iconic. I don't know if it's that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not the biggest fan of Cardi B though, so
no,
I don't know if I'm the right person to judge, but
to be saying it's the 45th best album cover of all time.
I don't know. It's just her, and she kind of has a funny, an interesting outfit, but... All right. Number 44, Whitney Houston from 1985. I feel like this is iconic just because how popular this album was.
Yeah.
Because it just exploded. I've seen this album in record stores all over the place. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know if it's anything special.
I don't think
visually.
It's anything special. It's just
a picture of her. But yeah, I think it's more iconic because of how popular it was.
Speaking of iconic,
oh yeah. 43 is Fleetwood Mac, Rumors from 1977. Yeah, that's a pretty iconic I feel
that's
like
the same kind of thing though, where it's not anything crazy going on. It's
yeah, but
just,
I feel like in this case, the simplicity just adds so much to it.
I
'Cause
think
it's
the
kind
color too. For
yeah,
some reason,
like
the cream color,
and then like the very dramatic
yeah.
like people. Yeah, I don't know. It's I love this cover. I think their font is really cool too.
Yeah.
I love when a band has like a signature font, so every time you see it, you're like automatically thinking.
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
All right. Number 42, Nicki Minaj, the Pink print from 2014.
It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
It's basically a pink fingerprint.
Yeah. It is actually pretty, like, visually interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've never listened to that album, so
Neither
I have no idea anything about it. 41 is No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom from 1995. This is a wild.
There's a lot going on.
It's a little busy. And there's a lot of things going on. I've never seen this album cover before.
Neither have I. I do like it because it's kind of like we kind of talked about earlier. It's intriguing to where it's like, oh, what is this all about?
Because you're thinking like, what kind of music could this possibly be? Yeah.
And it looks like a very like No Doubt kind of.
It looks very 90s.
90s, yeah.
Like it's it's trying to look older, but it like is that 90s kind of nostalgic look. All right, number 40 is Beyonce from 2013. It's just her name in pink. I mean, again, I think it was because
more of the artist itself, not the album cover itself.
I think it was more because was this her surprise album that she just like randomly dropped?
I think so.
I think it was. I'm not too caught up on my Beyonce knowledge, but
yeah, I don't quite remember.
I think that's why it was so iconic, is because like it all of a sudden, like without any like warning or press or anything, she just dropped this album, and it was pretty like a classic album when it came out.
Yeah. Because
it was just so popular. But all right, number 39, Johnny Cash, American 4, The Man Comes Around from 2002. Yeah, I don't know.
I was trying to think of something to react to it. I don't know. It's like
again, it's just like a black and him. It is it's very emotional. I would say you can see, because that's an emotional album.
Especially because that's his final album before he died, too. So.
Yeah, I feel like you can see the emotion more on his face. Where, like, Janet Jackson and stuff, it was just, like, a picture of her.
Mm-hmm. This you see more of the, like, idea of, like, the man in black kind of fading into
the darkness, I guess. Yeah.
So it is interesting.
Like, and this one has more significance just because of the context around it.
I would agree.
I would agree. You know, he died.
I would agree.
This is his last album, but crazy. All right, number 38, Ariana Grande, Sweetener from 2018.
I don't know. It's just
her
upside down.
It's her upside down.
I don't know. I think we can move
on. Number 37, Madonna, True Blue from 1986. Sorry. Again, it's just a picture of her. It is. I kind of like this one a little better because it's more like posed and she's like, I don't know. It's more dramatic.
I've never listened to this album, but
I'm sure I've heard songs. Like a Prayer is on it, I think.
Gotcha.
Maybe. Oh no, it's not.
No.
I don't know what's on this one. I've never listened to it. I think that's too old for Like a Prayer, but kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of posed, but.
All right, number 36 is Joni Mitchell, Hajira, 1976.
Oh, this is really cool, actually.
I like this one, yeah.
This is really cool.
Her album covers are really interesting. I mean, Blue is like, I love that album cover. That's a great album and great cover.
Yeah.
A lot of her later ones, because she's a painter actually, too. So she does a lot of painting. Some of her later albums where it's just paintings of like self-portraits of herself, which is really cool. But yeah, this one's interesting.
Yeah, this one's a very, I don't know.
It's very moody. I like that.
It is.
This is when she got into like jazz kind of stuff. All right, 35, Metallica, Master of Puppets, 1986.
So we got a graveyard of crosses here.
Yeah. And then like puppet strings.
It's very metallic.
Yeah,
it's very metallic. It's actually kind of cool. I kind of like it.
It's more like conceptual than some of the other ones, which I think is cool.
It's kind of
again the Metallica like font is very iconic.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty
Do you know what's
cool.
funny? I don't think like the Metallica font's obviously iconic, but then
Yeah.
they just have it say Masters of Puppet in some weird basic font is a very
That
strange
they got from a
choice.
Word document.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that is kind of
But
weird.
overall, I like
Maybe they
it.
didn't want too much. They didn't
Yeah,
want-
this is true.
had to understate the Master of Puppets.
Mhm.
All right, 34. We got the Slits cut from 1979. It's just naked women.
It is.
I've never heard of this band before.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
don't
either.
know.
What year?
they look like
79?
warrior
Yeah.
women. It's kind of cool. I've never heard of this band though.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
It'd be interesting. Yeah.
33. We got Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from 2010. So this album has a couple different covers.
It does. Yeah.
Sometimes it's pixelated too because it's got like a half naked. I don't even know what's going on here. But I would say it's pretty iconic, but more because the album.
If it was
is
just the
iconic.
album cover, that's not my. I like 808s and Heartbreak's album cover quite a bit.
Yeah. Or
Even like his other ones.
Even his first like three.
Like College Dropout.
Yeah, where he had like the I don't know, it was
the
the
teddy
bear
bear
thing.
the teddy
Yeah,
bear.
I thought that
Those
was
were
kind
cool.
of cool.
Those were real cool.
It was
Those
a cool
were better.
idea, and how
Yeah.
he like carried it through a couple albums.
Yep.
This one's not like super special
No.
or anything. Next we got 32, Lizzo, Cause I Love You, 2019.
It was Lizzo on the cover.
Yeah, it's okay. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. I do not know. Ooh, this next one though. I kind of like that.
31 is Sex Pistols. Never mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols from 1977. I love this cover.
That's really cool because it's
This cover
very.
again there's a like in re-releases of the album. There's a lot of different. Like,
Yeah.
It's the same font and like everything. It's just the colors change, but I think it's really cool.
I love the font of the Sex Pistols, which
Yeah,
is very
and
like
just-
the British punk like kind of font
and
scene.
the colors are just so like
Yeah,
vibrant
I
that it
know.
just
That's so
completely
cool.
catches your eye. I really like
that's
this one.
that's definitely like an album you'd love to own. Like
Yeah,
just for the.
I have this one.
Do you?
Yeah,
Nice.
mine is more like a pink and green.
Gotcha.
So it's slightly different,
Mhm.
but there's been like
Yeah.
I said, there's a bunch of variations
Yeah.
on the album cover.
That's awesome.
All right, next, I've seen this album cover like a million times, just like reading about
FKA
stuff, but I've
Twigs,
never listened to it. Yeah, so
LP1.
30 is FKA Twigs LP1 from 2014. It is a cool album cover. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I've never heard of this. But
I've seen it so many times. It like sticks in my mind. So obviously it makes an like impression, but I don't know. It's pretty cool. Just a face
Yeah,
that's
it's cool.
kind of painted, or I don't even know, but it's very eye catching.
It is very eye catching for sure.
All right, 29 is Aretha Franklin. I Never Loved a Man the Way I Loved You, 1967. It's nothing crazy. It's just a picture of her kind of
it's
looking
nothing
down.
crazy.
Again, this album is very iconic. I
Yeah.
wouldn't dispute that, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of these albums are just the people's faces. They're not like...
That's I think the hard thing with a lot of album covers are like, especially for like.
Yeah, but there's a decent amount that are...
I know. So it's interesting. It's
more-
interesting that this list they kind of went
Yeah.
a different way. So
I don't know. Interesting. Number 28 is Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, 1984.
This is a good one.
This is a good
one.
cover.
This is good because this is like what we just talked about. How it's still the single person, but he did.
Yeah,
do
but he's
some,
like subverts that a little bit, where
Yeah.
he just I love how it's like his style. It's so cool.
and kind of like theme the album. Well, how the album's kind of themed a little bit is kind of into it, and
Very like American blue
It's like
collar. Like I feel like you get all the themes
Yeah.
of the album in that one
I agree.
picture.
it's like simple but complicated at the same
Yeah.
time. So
Very cool.
Yep.
Oh, I love this next one. So 27 is Janis Joplin, Pearl from 1971. Oh, look at her. She just looks iconic. I love this album. I love the colors of it. I feel like
I like the back. Yeah, the colors are very very interesting because it's
it's
almost
very
like
muted.
yeah, and it's almost like it's like in a frame.
Yeah, and especially for like the late 60s, early 70s, like it's a psychedelic rock
Yeah.
album basically. It's very muted, but you can still there's still a lot of personality in her. I love this one. I
Yeah.
have this hanging on my wall because I think
Mhm.
it's just cool
Mhm.
looking. All right, next we got 26 is Grace Jones' Island Life from 1985. I've never heard of this. I feel like this was on another list that we talked about, but I don't.
It might have
quite
been.
remember.
I don't quite remember.
It's pretty intense.
It is.
I don't know how. It's just like a person basically stretching in a impossible way. I don't know how. I mean, it's not real, but
yeah,
crazy. Ooh, next we got 25 is Davy
Boy.
I tried so hard. I was on a roll. I was doing pretty good.
You were.
David Bowie, Aladdin Sane, 1973. So it's basically him and his Ziggy Stardust.
I like the Ziggy Stardust.
I love that cover.
Is great.
I think that cover.
So I wonder if it's gonna be on the list. Maybe not.
Because like this one, it's him in like character basically. With, like the lightning bolt across his face. It's very cool. It's very striking. But again, like artistically speaking, it's not that
it's not like that crazy. But I'll try to give reading the rest a chance.
Oh, you're gonna read the rest?
Yeah, I'll read the rest.
Okay, go for it.
All right, 24 is the Rolling Stones' "Sticky Fingers," 1971.
Yeah. This one's really cool.
This is cool too because it's kind of like the Bruce Springsteen album a little bit.
And it's really cool because on I think very like original copies and then some re-releases, the zipper is actually real and you can actually pull it down on the album,
wild.
like on a record.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've always wanted this album.
All right, number 23 is Miles Davis's "Bitches Brew," 1969.
Yeah, this one's just wild.
Yeah, this is a cool, like, this is...
See, this is what I was thinking.
For album covers, that's exactly...
It's very stylized, it's very artistic.
See, I think, we keep talking about it, but I think you could pick up an album and just buy it based on how it looks.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I buy my bottle of wine, too, sometimes, how cool the label is. So it's it's like the same kind of concept where you can just, like, if you have an attractive looking album cover, people, I think, tend to
and I feel like this one makes a lot of statements, and I feel like, I've never listened to this album, but I'm sure it connects a lot with like the themes and the sounds of the album. Yeah, because it's very specific, which I think is pretty cool.
All right, 22 is Drake. If you're reading this, it's too late. 2015.
I don't like this cover.
This is.
I think it's really boring.
It's boring. It's trying. I think it's trying too much.
It's trying too much. Yeah.
But all right,
it sucks.
21 is Duran Duran Rio.
This one's interesting.
1982. I like it because
it kind of has an older style of like a cartoon or something.
It feels like it should be like releasing like a classic hits or something from like the 1940s or something. Yeah, like that's what kind of like.
Cool, it's like a painted lady. It's
kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like this.
All right,
one.
20 is Joy Division's "Unknown Pleasure," 1979.
Oh, that one is so cool. It's very simple, but it's really interesting.
It is. It kind of looks like a topographical mountain range.
Yeah, and I love just the like stark contrast of the black and the white.
I think it is really cool.
It's very mysterious.
It's very it's simple.
I feel like adds a lot to the music. I love that album too.
19 is Judas Priest, British Steel, 1980.
What is that thing? Like a razor blade? I don't know what that is.
Yeah? No?
It's kind of interesting.
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
Because I think with the hand and the it's intriguing. It's definitely cool. It's a cool concept for sure.
I feel like the 80s was when bands started having like the iconic fonts thing.
Yeah.
Because every metal or like heavy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with that. So, all right. Number 18, The Roots, Things Fall Apart, 1999.
Yeah, this is very very powerful image is what it says.
It looks like, I don't know when it was taken, but
it looks like some type of, I don't know.
During the civil rights era of two black teenagers running from police and riot gear in Bedford, I don't know how to say that town name.
Yeah, that's
that sounds familiar.
It's Bed-Stuy in New York.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, powerful image for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd love to see it, and that's the kind of thing where it's like, I would love to listen to the music, because I'm sure it's just really interesting.
For sure. Alright, 17, we have Santana's,
Abraxas?
Abraxas, yeah. This is a wild album cover.
Apparently it's taken from a Maddie Clarwin painting.
Okay.
Who also did the cover for Miles Davis' Bitches Brew.
Oh, okay. It does look very similar.
It is very psychedelic looking. That is for sure. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. I think this is what I was thinking of for like a psychedelic kind of.
Yeah.
I expected more psychedelic because they're always very like colorful and interesting.
Yeah, I mean we still got 16 more, so who knows?
True.
All right, number 16 is I love this album.
This
album and album covers. The Clash's London Calling, 1979. The iconic smashing of the guitar.
And this is actually copying an Elvis Presley, early Elvis Presley, with the letters going down and then across, the same colors too.
Because it was his, I think, his self-titled album.
Oh yeah. It says the pink and green title letters mimic Presley's 1956
self-titled album cover. Yep. No, it's a kind of iconic.
Great album cover. Very cool looking.
All right. Number 15 is Nas's Illmatic, 1994.
Yeah, this one's really cool too. I love how it's like the kid, and then it's like faded in with the city. I feel like that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like definitely cool because you can tell. I think you can even tell what the album's going to be more of a self-reflection of where he kind of probably grew up from.
Yeah.
I've like.
Is he from Chicago?
I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure this is like known as one of the best like hip hop albums ever created.
Oh no, he's from New York.
Oh, native Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. Definitely very powerful. It makes a statement for sure.
All right, number 14, Blink 182's "Enema of the State," 1999. This is probably
definitely classic.
This is very iconic. Like I think everyone kind of knows
this album
cover for sure.
Yeah, that's a good album cover. I feel like this one is just like very like pop punk.
Oh yeah.
Post punk kind of era.
Yep. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good album cover. All right, number 13, Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly," 2015.
Yeah, that's a cool album.
That's a cool album cover too, for sure.
It's definitely, you can tell that he really thought about it and really like put a lot of thought into what he wanted it to look like.
Yep.
To match kind of the themes of the album.
For sure.
See, that's what I like, because like sometimes when it's just like the person's face and it's not really that
and it's kind of like
you can tell they didn't really put all that much effort into it.
Thought into it. It's like you gotta sell your product a little bit here and kind of complete the artistic thing with the album covers, just completing the album, you know.
Yeah.
So number 12 is Hole's "Live Through This," 1994. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, Hole is the band that Courtney Love was in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's I like this. I think it's kind of interesting. It's like a beauty queen, but she's got like mascara running, so
she obviously doesn't want to be a beauty queen or something like that, and
very defiant looking.
Yep. Yeah. It's cool. It's interesting for sure.
Cool.
All right, number 11 is
this is what I was waiting for. I was like,
Beatles,
where is it?
The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 1967.
This has always been an iconic album cover.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, all the different like people, they have like past versions of themselves, which are kind of funny. On like the one side. Yeah. I think Bob Dylan's in here. Yeah, Bob Dylan's in there. Edgar Allan Poe's in there. Like all these famous people.
Yeah, it's very iconic.
Yeah, it's so cool how they have like the past selves, and then they're like, okay, well now this is a whole different thing. Like, now we're the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Like I love it's like a reinvention of themselves.
Yeah, I like it.
Right, and it's so colorful. I love that too.
I know. So number 10 is one kind of talks about is Elvis Presley's Elvis Presley.
Yeah, this is also a cool album,
especially for the 50s.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool because it's like
it's simple, but it still makes
and like
an impression.
Also, like the font's like kind of unique enough where it's got like character to it.
Yeah,
and like I just love the photo of him
he's just
singing
like belting it out and
he's just jamming out
fully into that song.
It's definitely I think a good snapshot of what Elvis Presley, what you get with that album.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 9 is Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, 1990.
This is crazy. This looks like Star Wars or something.
Yeah, so it looks like a scroll movie thing. Yeah, like Star Wars.
Like the font of Fear of a Black Planet looks like Star Wars font. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good album cover.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8 is Sydney.
No.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, Sydney Lauper.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sydney Lauper.
Sorry, I misread.
Sydney Lauper. She's So Unusual, 1983.
Yeah, this is a very cool. I feel like it shows again like a lot of her personality. in the photo.
Definitely. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's very colorful. I feel like the colorfulness kind of matches with the colorfulness of her music also. Very cool.
Yeah,
This is the Girls Just Want to Have Fun is on this one.
Yep, it's like we kind of said before, you got the kind of stylized font with her name, and then kind of like, especially knowing girls want to have just want to have fun, and that's kind of like, I think she shows that in the album cover, like with kind of
and it's also it's like fun. It's also kind of gritty. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's a juxtaposition.
All right, on to number 7.
Oh yeah.
Is Nirvana's Nevermind, 1991. I don't like this album cover at all. I've never liked it. I think it's kind of dumb, but
it's okay.
It's just iconic because it's Nirvana, so.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea, I guess, with like the money on the hook and whatnot, but I feel like I've seen it so many times, and everyone's like, "Oh, that album cover," that I'm just like, I'm like desensitized to it. But
all right, on to number 6.
Yeah, speaking of everyone loving the cover,
everyone loving the album cover and owning this and hanging on their walls. It's so good. All right, so is Pink Floyd's "Dark Side of the Moon," 1973.
Yeah,
this is one of the most iconic album covers.
Like, I don't know why it's so cool, but it's just so cool.
It's such a simple album cover, too.
I know. Like, it's nothing, like, insanely crazy.
No, not at all.
I feel like the mystery and intrigue just adds so much to the album. Sure. Like, it matches the album, like, the feeling of the album so much.
For sure.
Oh, so cool.
All right, number 5 is Led Zeppelin's Led Zeppelin, 1969. I also love this album cover.
I like a lot of their covers.
It's very stylized. I think it's very visually like pleasing, but then also like, I mean, it's just, I think this is just a photo.
It looks like it looks like
exposed or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a photo of a a
Zeppelin.
It says a burning airship erupting into flames just moments before plummeting to the ground.
Yeah, like the was it the Hindenburg? Wasn't that the one that blew up?
Yeah, it says it's a black and white rendering of the Hindenburg disaster.
Yeah. So that's why it's like it's kind of cool.
And like I feel like it matches like the sense of the album because it's very like intense and explosive album in terms of like rock and like where they're taking rock. For sure. Very cool.
All right, on to number 4. We're almost to number 1.
Almost.
Is the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die, 1994. It's not anything
I think
special.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a child.
With him trying too hard on the font, I think.
The font is weird because it changes. Ready to Die. It changes and then it changes
and then also
colors.
It just highlights B.I.G. too.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's interesting. I suppose.
It is interesting. I think it's probably. I've never listened to this album, but I'm assuming it's making statements on like how when he was born, it was almost the position he was put in society. He was ready to die. I'm assuming that's what he's trying to say.
It says right here, using the instance of child to illustrate how the cruel world imprints. On
so in that aspect, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like it would make more sense to us if we had listened to the album. But All
right, number 3 is Patti Smith's Horses, 1975.
I love this album cover. It's nothing even special, but I just think it's so cool. This was taken by her friend Robert Mapplethorpe, who was like a kind of a famous photographer at the time. And I just think it's really cool, and it's like really simple. Like it's nothing crazy, but I feel like the music adds a lot to the photo more than the photo adding to the music.
A critic cited this as one of the greatest photographs ever taken of a woman.
There you go.
That's what it says. It's a really good. I think I've never listened to this album, but
you gotta listen to this album. It's early punk, basically.
It's very simple, but yet very makes a statement in the same kind of sense.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 2, which is no surprise. Is the Beatles' Abbey Road, 1969. Everybody tries to recreate this.
Yep.
This is like, I think, one of the most iconic album covers. And if you're just talking about the straight up, I think it's a cool idea for an album cover.
Yeah, and reportedly, I don't know if this is true. This is kind of like a rumor that because they were kind of arguing throughout this whole album, and they were just like, what are we gonna do for the cover? Let's just walk outside and take a picture. And so that's apparently what they did. Like, it wasn't really all that planned.
Which is hilarious if that's true, because it's probably one of the most, like, because you can like
things.
because like people like go try to recreate it because you can because it's a real location they just walked up to. And,
yeah, I don't know if that's true, but it's very, very iconic for sure.
All right, number 1 is no surprise. The Velvet Underground and Nico's The Velvet Underground and Nico, 1967.
Yeah, it was made by Andy Warhol. It was really cool because you could like peel the banana, and then there was an unpeeled banana underneath. Yeah,
that's cool.
So, because the original albums, like the records, they go for a lot if the banana is still on it.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of them were peeled off and like, lost, basically. Yeah. But yeah, very cool. It's very simple, and obviously Andy Warhol made it, so it matches that style and that time. Perfectly.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool like how I forgot that one album that we went through so recently. We went through our grandparents' albums. That one that the one that's like the showing like just the beach.
Oh yeah, it was a soundtrack or something.
No idea what it is, but that's like that was really cool. And I think like a photograph or even like a painting like the Andy Warhol like this one is a really cool idea.
Especially for like matched with like the music. I love when it just like feels the same.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I could see, and this one's very iconic.
It is.
You see this and you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It stands out because it's so unique. Like,
for sure.
You wouldn't think of putting a banana on an album cover.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, that's
the list. Is there anything you can think of off the top?
I
was trying to think
as
too.
As we went along, it's hard to just come up with albums off the top
especially
of my
like
head.
The covers of them, like
Yeah. I did expect to see less, like, just faces of people.
Yeah, I was hoping for...
in those instances, I feel like it was more about the album's iconic status rather than, like, the cover itself.
Yeah.
I think Boston's debut album
that one's cool.
Super
the UFO
cool.
one with the UFO on it. Yeah. Awesome album cover.
I was kind of surprised that wasn't in there because I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other iconic ones, but I feel like they did actually a decent job at doing different genres and different time periods. Because at first there was a lot of new ones, which I was like, oh, I don't know if they're gonna have like some of the old ones, but they hit all of the ones that I was like, they have to have this in here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So any other closing thoughts?
I think that wraps up this comeback episode, as
you say. Comeback episode. So that. We promise we won't just disappear for like a month again.
We appreciate you guys all listening though. All the other episodes last month.
Yeah.
So that wraps up episode number 49. You guys can follow us on our social medias on Twitter, Instagram at Songs Untold. We will not be putting any songs on the playlist this week.
We didn't listen to any.
But if you want to go back and listen to a pretty cool playlist because it has a lot of different music, a lot of good music, I think. Was it in? Because I never can remember it.
New Old and Songs Untold podcast playlist on Spotify.
And next week is episode 50.
Yeah, we have a special...
Or, I don't know next week. Next episode. Yeah, I should just say next episode.
Next episode, we've got a special episode for the 50th episode. It's going to be Elvis Presley.
It's going to be Elvis Presley we're doing for our 50th episode. Yeah. Can't believe we're on 50 already.
Yeah, crazy. And time really flies. And I'm really excited for Elvis. I think it's going to be a great episode.
So, thank you guys for listening and have a good rest of your week.